I'm here at the Etihad, home of European and English champions, Manchester City. In a football world that's dominated by clubs like City, whose homes are in big stadiums like the Etihad, it's often forgotten about the little clubs that lie in their shadows. I want to visit a club that pays homage to the history of Manchester City, but for that I'll have to start my story 2 miles away in a council estate.
You heard me saying a prayer for someone
Prior to their move east in 2003, Manchester City played their football on Maine Road, a stadium that holds the record for the highest attendance at any club ground, 84,000 in 1934 in a 6-round FA Cup match against Stoke.
You saw me standing alone.
Believe it or not, I'm standing in what used to be the centre circle of the Maine Road pitch. After Manchester City's move to the Etihad in 2003, and despite the best efforts of fans and local sports people to save the ground, Maine Road was demolished, and in its place, 474 homes were built. 20 years on from Maine Road's demolition, it's hard to find parts of Manchester City's history that would have been left behind with the old ground. But I'm determined to find places that can remind us of times of old. The history and the memory of Maine Road and Manchester City is being kept alive, however, by a club here in Chiltern, a club who play their football in the North West Counties Division South. That club, Maine Road FC.
Without a dream in my heart.
Formerly known as City Supporters Rush Home, Maine Road were founded in 1955 by a group of Manchester City fans who attended the social club outside Maine Road. After starting their non-league journey, Maine Road played their football across Manchester in various different locations until 1980, where they moved here, Brantingham Road, an old training facility of Manchester City. It's not just the name and the ground that are reminiscent of Manchester City of old. Take a look at Maine Road's badge. I'm sure most of you will recognise it. I was keen to discover what the ambitions of a club like Maine Road were, and how being linked to City can affect them. So I caught up with Rees, Welsh, assistant manager here at Maine Road. Rees, what's your ambitions at Maine Road at the moment?
The ambitions from when I've come into the club about two and a half seasons ago. I think the ambitions from the get-go was always trying to get into the playoffs and ideally get promotion.
And is it ever demoralising how little people come to non-league, and is that something you advocate for, more people coming down and just giving it a go?
Yeah, because more time than not, when a lot of people sort of had that first experience of non-league, because you're so close to the games and whatnot, they always tend to enjoy it a lot more. And obviously us in particular really struggle with getting the crowds in, and it's a case of there's so much work that has to go into it, because it all is voluntary based, so obviously that has its limits on how far that can sort of run. So as good as location as what we are quite limited on some of the things that we can do, and that is a case of like the social media to attract people coming in. Obviously we play on Saturdays as well, that's when City tend to play, and we're sort of coming off the back of that, so it can be quite hard to get in fans on that sort of basis. But like I say, when fans actually come in and watch the games, very rarely do people not enjoy it. More time than not, we get a great response of people, how they felt so sort of involved and how close it was. And just seeing non-league sort of grassroots football, they always tend to take to it quite well.
Rees, is there a certain pressure that comes with playing for a club and managing a club with an affiliation to Manchester City, and what's your relationship like now?
Well, first off, I think obviously because you walk around wearing a badge, I'm actually a red, which is crazy. But yeah, that's obviously everyone, as soon as you sort of see you, put you to that. We do still have a little bit of affiliation with it. Our main sponsor is the Manchester Fans sponsorship. So one of the members of the committee that's been running for quite a while, and I feel like I said this from when I first came in. There was a little bit of sort of. It was only a slight connection, but there was something there, and I feel like the distance has just got bigger and bigger. Obviously, as Man City have became that sort of club now, from where he was playing at Maine Road and whatnot. He had now, it's got a lot bigger, a lot more money in it. I feel like the gap has got a lot bigger. I think one of the first things when I came in, I said, would it not be great, I think, just for general, I think for both sides, if in pre-season we did have matches together, but as I say, the gap's just sort of distanced itself now, so we don't really have that connection as what we did have before.
It's Saturday morning And this afternoon I was meant to go down to City and Maine Road to watch Maine Road take on Winsford in a league clash. However, heavy overnight rain in Manchester has caused a waterlogged pitch and the game has been postponed. However, Maine Road fan Dave has agreed to meet me this afternoon at the ground to talk about a fan's perspective of the club, why he loves going and why it's important that people like him support Maine Road.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone without a dream.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's man. Yeah.
Just give us your name and why you come down to Maine Road.
FungalPunk Dave. I come down to Maine Road. Well, I do all kind of non-league bobbing about, and Maine Road's just one of my favourite. Why is it one of my favourites? Because my punk rock ethos is support anything DIY and patchwork, and you don't get more patchwork and DIY than this. And over the years, I've always picked up Maine Road seem to have a good ethos, trying to play good football, and I appreciate that. And it's just, it's welcoming. It's a nice place, so why not?
Yeah, totally. And ticket prices and things like that, it's manageable to come every week.
Bloody hell, I try and do each season between 60 and 80 matches, and that's on top of all the wildlife stuff I do and all the punky music stuff I do, and it's easily manageable. If I mix some of that in with Cheshire League, which are free, it's great. £6 for 90 minutes entertainment. I think it's £1, just £1 odd for a cup of tea, some chocolate. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, no, totally, 100%. And being Maine Road, a bit of history of Manchester City, is that something that you're totally interested in? Or
to be honest, if I won the pools and I could buy enough concrete, I'd fill Maine Road's ground and all the Premier League grounds with concrete.
Yeah.
If I can't afford concrete, I just burn them down. I'm not interested in all that capitalist cruddery. This is brilliant. It's approachable. You're meeting people on the same level, and people are doing it because they love it, and it's just great, and it's just proper for the man in the street football.
Yeah, so something I'm investigating in is the neglect of big clubs, of clubs like this. I mean, this is basically a club based on history of Manchester City,
yes.
And they have no affiliation anymore, and it's quite sad to see that there's no help. And
that's part and parcel of this scene. I think they're totally detached in it. You've just got different layers, and the ones at the top really token gestures they do in the community and things like that. But these clubs, most of them what I go to are just scraping by. It really is a precarious situation they're in. But because they're in such a precarious situation, you're getting people there who are doing it. I mean, they're piddling in the wind really, but they're doing it because they love it. And I think there's something lovely about that. And it's good intent, good art, and I think it's just marvellous. It's proper earthy DIY attitude, isn't it?
yeah.
And to me, on all levels, in all the areas I work, that's where you find the best people and the most honest people, and it's just the best thing to be around. It's great.
Yeah. And you feel connected to people here. You can approach them enough. Or...
Oh yeah, you come, you chat with the guy on gate, you go in clubhouse and they'll ask behind you, well, hello again, and blah blah blah, and your manager say hello. A couple of players I got friendly with, and it's a couple of clubs like that. And it's just welcoming, and it makes a difference, doesn't it? It's approachable. Like I say, it's for the man in the street. Joe Bloggs can come along, and it's affordable. And it's proper, and it's something, like I say, you can't describe it. It's just an earthy DIY feeling. Like I said, I compare it to the music I deal with. I stay at the bottom end because, again, the people who are there want to be there because they love it, not because it's a place to be seen or anything like that, like the upper clubs.
Yeah.
Or it's, chicken box, place to see bollocks stuff.
Yeah, not for you. No.
You can't beat the mud kicking up, the sliding around on a quagmire, the smell of the turf. You can't. It's not the same, is it?
Yeah,
it's a bit artificial, and like I'm all for reality. That dirty dog, gutter end of things, and a rugby pitch. I would have played on this today all day. And it's like, I'd rather be at a club that's struggling to get fans in, and your £6, what you pay is really valued, isn't it?
Without a dream in my heart.
Playing first edition on that.
Oh yeah.